Welcome to EVE Online. I'm Major Freak. This has been a long time coming. I'm back because my fuel is running out on my upwells and I need to pay back some friends for fueling fuel them up. I don't want to get too much in the hole. I'm going to do some ice mining and probably take off for Star Sector again and a bit of Battle Brothers. Did a smattering of StarCraft, but StarCraft 2. But when I get back to the game, the first thing I need to do is reboot my planetary interaction, which I won't bore you with the details, and do my price index. And I tried doing a video, but it kind of got scatterbrained. I've done my PI index already. I've filled out all these forms. I've reshuffled this for order of profitability. A lot of things have moved above Velspar now, which is great to see some movement in that area. The lowest common denominator winning is not the usual thing you want to see, and it has been for quite a few years, so it's nice to see some movement. I'm guessing that most of the movement is in the Noxium. It's jumped dramatically in price, and I suspect, double actually, I suspect it could be rumored that Crocite might lose its Noxium. It's been rumored for quite some time, and I believe what I think, here's my thinking of how CCP retarded little brain works. It's dropped a rumor, the speculation starts, the price starts to increase. I've bought a million worth of Crocite ore just to check they haven't secretly nerfed it. But no, I believe it's just speculation. It's ramping up, and what CCP does in their little infinite wisdom, sarcasm slash, is hold off on any change to it because of the speculation, and they're just going to wait, and then they'll eventually probably code it in at some point at their whimsy. But it's nice to see, and regardless, at the end of the day, it's nice to see an increase, even if I believe it's just pure speculation. The increase, I believe, has been a recent thing. Let me just confirm that. I could be wrong. I've been looking at a lot of stuff. Go to my quick bar. When you come back to the game after 2 months, like I have, in the past, it was a nightmare because your quick bars can be reset for a number of reasons in the past, but now we can export them, which is a wonderful tool. It allows me to not have to bite the bullet every bloody time I come back from a hiatus. And, of course, the other thing is getting your PI set up. The let's go to Noxium. It's going to take me 3 clients per account. No, sorry, 3 alts or 3 characters per account. Times 6 for, the maximum amount of planets you can have, and it becomes an impossible task almost to get going again. Just to do it, basically, it takes probably 2 hours to do, but it's meh. I do it for a 2-week zone, so I don't have to bother with it for a while. Yeah, it's a real headache, but that's a huge hurdle. Even that's one of the reasons I quit. I was just, God, I gotta do it again, and I don't wanna. And hey, there's another game I could play. Yeah, just doesn't feel like bloody work. Now I could obviously buy that stuff, but I love being self-sufficient, and the price is, of course, the headache. And of course I can't talk and do things at the same time, so pardon me while I get the Noxium up. Just force of habit. Yeah, it's just showing you guys the multiple accounts I have on the same quick bar. It's helpful. Usually when it's like, I go for volume, and I go for within 4 jumps, and I go buyers. As you see, I've collapsed. The sellers is meaningless. I've never ever, well, except for not the basic stuff, but for expensive items. So I've tried to do the market, but it's mostly contracts for stuff you can't put on the market. I'll go for price history, and I'll go maximum. I grab the New Eden's market for item 36, and hopefully it regurgitates. And this is, I believe, for 10 years, and it's been high in price before. 2003. This was around the time they started to screw big time with the composition of the ore. So, and 2012 was a big one as well. But yeah, they were just dicking around with the composition and acting like they knew everything, which they don't, and they're morons. But we just deal with the after effects, which CCP has no idea even now of the consequences. They just have their little marketing ploys. And they talk about their metrics, but it's the metrics they measure. And we measure something else. It's called practical. And their monthly economic reports are just metric regurgitation, which is meaningless to them and us. I never watched them. It used to be fun for the quarterly. Those were fun to watch. It was mostly meaningless, but if you look back in time, it has the more time accrues, the more meaning those old quarterly reports have. So as you can see, it's an interesting increase. This was, of course, the big moon nerf, and it's pretty much, but it took off right about there, and I suspect it's because the speculation over the Noxium, the Crocite being taken off Noxium. That's what I believe is happening. Okay. What else has changed? Well, the happy spot for titanium is 6, and it is interesting almost exactly as much as glare crust, and clear icicle is about what? I don't do math well, but it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice to see it at this. This is my happy spot for clear icicle, and the fact that stable Veldspar is quite a bit more than that is nice as well, and also that Brilliant Ness. Of course, Brilliant Ness is no longer being produced, but I haven't switched down to the second tier one yet, the plus 10% above the norm. Now they'll do it eventually, but I'm hoping that CPP will, before I have to go through the heartache of changing all the numbers, that they introduce the plus 15 ore again in some other fashion. That's yeah. Oh, 370. I seem to have screwed up there. Give me a sec. Shift the cells down. Grab that sucker. Cut. There we go. I'll just delete this. Delete cells. Shift up. Yeah, there's been a lot of change. Xenotime is now king. Operates of, I suspect that's mostly because of the cadmium and chromium have dropped quite precipitously. So has other things. Dysprosium, I think dysprosium is pretty much the same, a bit more, and platinum and promethium dropped. Did platinum drop as well? Yes. So yeah, there's been quite some drops, but dysprosium did go up. So Xenotime, there you are. You are now king. There are some I don't track. It's just that my area just doesn't produce it. Like neodymium, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Or the base. I believe that's. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so there's some interesting developments here. I like the fact this is up there. This is only going to be spawned during Fortress being completed, and then everybody scoops all this up and it's gone. Task line is interesting, but then again, the same thing. And it's pretty much pointless to mine compared to Feldspar, you know. But yeah, Clear Icicle, happy there. Not much change in the lower area, but yeah, a lot of things have moved above Feldspar. It's really fascinating. It's nice to see. There are some price wars, a few in the lower priced areas, but not many. It's mostly perimeter. Coolant and this stuff, there are some price wars, interestingly enough, but the fascinating thing is that I assumed that after a week of niarja being locked down into lowsec, that there would be some dramatic changes in, you know, where best to buy this stuff. And there, for the most part, as you can see, chromium, dysprosium, scandium, and tungsten does indicate there is some interest in relocating markets for certain things. It could be because I can't hazard a guess at the moment. I'm not really good at production, but it is interesting to see proof that it is some actual impact for niarja, as no doubt the Ezekiel is speaking to. Yeah, I don't want to open that. I'll go this way. No need to see my porn favorites. Alright. Ezekiel board. There's let's go down here, huh? So Sue Habit has been quite prolific in kills, mostly flying tactical destroyers. Doesn't seem to be much of late in losses, but yeah. Just slaughtering at the both gates actually, and still very active. And of course, showing the new blitz. Oh boy, yeah. Look at that, eh? Still haven't learned. You can probably track when it actually happened, honestly. Seeing as she's the most prolific killer, it would stand to reason that she would also be keyed up and ready to go at a moment's notice to maximize. You know, somebody's that keyed up, you'd think they would be paying attention to when actually it went. So I'm assuming I have to go back August 20th. August 19th. It might have happened August 19th, actually, I'm guessing. Do I think CCP did this manually? Possibly. There's no reason why they couldn't have screwed with it. There we go. So, 9th. So, niarja. There. So, August 17th. So she wasn't there waiting for it to happen, of course, but I'm sure. And I believe dock workers, Galaxy Rangers. Alright, let's check this out. Oops, wrong thing to click on. This will probably be our best bet. Let's go the third kill, right? This is third loss of the day. And were they suicide ganks to take advantage of things? I believe it would be. Yeah, see? So it definitely... Now, would it be Concord involved as well? I don't see it. So definitely lowsec. So it wasn't though they were pushing. They just took advantage of the... Okay. So the 18th is 1000 hours. It's a good indication. Let's start going back. Oh, wonder if I can do this. That would be nice. 18, oh good. So August. Oh. Wait, let's try that. Nope. August. Nope. It's not allowing me to do that, unfortunately. Yeah, too bad. Pity. But we'll definitely watch this box. Or no, we won't. I guess we can't really screw with that, unfortunately. Pity. Alright, so that's going to take a while, so I'm going to assume if I go to page 100, let's see what happens. Oh. It's not fun. I'll just have to do it manually. Alright, bear with me here. Oh my god, what? Damn it. Alright, so, yeah. There you go. It was the 18th. So, yeah. And look at that. Tuesday. Isn't that coincidental, huh? Although her first death happened at 1000, so that was before downtime. So I can't lay the blame on CCP doing it manually on a Tuesday downtime, because her first death was before downtime. All right. So that obvious suspicion has been removed. But yeah, it was bound to happen at some point. Whether it was done sneakily by CCP, I highly doubt it. We've just eliminated the most usual suspect for it to happen. But it did happen on a Tuesday, right before downtime of last week. Cool. All right. Moving on. Yeah, this is pretty much what I expected. Nothing dramatic to come back to. I didn't come back for niarja. It's going to be a while till that shakes down. As normally is, the market adjusts. It always has. The only time it's actually gone mental is speculation, especially when CCP screws around with the mechanics, you know. That's usually what happens. People trying to take advantage of that. But yeah, the market is adjusting to this niarja thing, which is a spontaneous. We all expected it at some point. Yeah, the smart ones, at least. But yeah, I knew it was going to go lowsec because you know everybody was watching niarja, and now that the invasions have been going on for quite some time, the mechanics of it and how to game the system are well known now. So the big alliance is just smashed niarja probably instantly into lowsec. Yeah, I'll go do my PI, and then I'll ice mine, and then I'll put my fuel box in the oven, and then I'll probably bugger off and play another game. Just not, Eve's just not grabbing my attention that much these days. I think the reason I quit 2 months ago was solely due to the fact that I'd almost gotten a couple of months, I forget when, but I'd just gotten things stable, gotten my upwell stable, happy, just relaxed getting into it, and they did the abandoned state announcement, and that just threw, and then they threw in the EdenCom event. It was just madness for a couple of months, and I just got burnt out, basically, just dealing with my upwells and the EdenCom events, and just completely burnt out. Just the mad hectic, and then the invasion started, and that just heart attack city. But once we realized that it was just incompetent, adding new shit instead of changing old stuff for the better, you know, it just, and the heartache for people who had gone on hiatus and not realized that their Tech 2 blueprints were now vulnerable. It was just the imagining what CCP actually lied to us about, and then said, oh, well, one person said something, that it doesn't matter. It's as a corporation, we have different objectives than one person's. And they threw people out under the bus who were probably long gone by then, you know, as an employee. You know, it's just ridiculous to lie to your, you know, it's like, why are you trying to be cool about this? It's not. It's just internet spaceships is serious business? No, actually, it's a business, and you guys should pay attention to the bottom line instead of dicking with your customers all the time. But whatever. They've always done that. You know, they always have. They always will. You just ignore them. Play the game. But sometimes they do things to, you know, it's like a child throwing its toy out of the pram, you know. Pay attention to me, right? It's like, okay, so you just shat on your food. Great. Smart kid. But, you know, it's just like a baby. They want to have an effect, but mostly we ignore them. I mean, most of their events are bullshit, and we just ignore them and just do our thing and just try to play the game the way the game works, not CCP's marketing strategy for this news cycle, you know. So it goes along, moves along, and despite whatever CCP can do. But yeah, their toy throwing out the pram, it was just burnt me out. So that's why I quit for 2 months, and I'm not too much interested in playing anymore. But I will feel my stuff, and yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I think I might, once I get into the game, I might fall in love with it again. But when you look at it, what is there to fall in love with? The promise of being able to mine Jaspit and nest in lowsec, and have fun in lowsec, and be a miner in lowsec is the attraction for me. And it's teasing me. It's definitely using me, but it's not a reality yet. To me, it just smells of speculation, mean-spirited speculation, gaming the system, and I'm not really interested in entertaining this meteoric rise, because it's happened before. And the last thing I want to do is get excited and get geared up and go to lowsec, and all of a sudden the speculation drops, or CCP does something stupid, or who knows what happens. But it's definitely tempting. The enjoyment of lowsec Jaspit mining is increasing. Of course, you've all heard my rants about the different ore compositions and the regenerations between high, low, and nullsec. Shocking to learn after so many years of, I'm sure it's been this way forever, and CCP has just enjoyed its mysteries, but it's like, and as soon as everybody discovers it, they'll just fuck with it again. You know, it's just their way, just a petulant, egotistical, you can't know what we do. And it's like, okay, well, a little bit of honesty would have helped us give you better feedback instead of this spoilt child attitude from them. And that's Hilmar. He's always been the way. It's always been this way. You know, yelling in meetings, that's how things get decided in CCP. You know, who yells the loudest. So it's just the foghorn leghorn strategy of business management is, it's been long enough that you realize that it's never going to change, and the game's just going to stagger on with new fancy shit, and it's not really going to be what you hope it is, just because CCP has no clue. So it's interesting, it's fun, and until something better comes along, and I hope it does at some point. It eventually does. But yeah, CCP's got a long lineage, and it's fun to play the game the way you can play it, not the way you want it to be, but it's, you know, it's fun. You got friends in game, and it's fun. To the interactions of being able to play a game that is, well, basically a screensaver with a built-in chat function, but it's got real people you're interacting with, not just the AI. And that's the attraction of having something more complicated than an artificial intelligence to butt heads against, or at least be in a world full of other players is more attractive than being in just a random generated save game, basically. So it's fun. That's the attraction, and it's fun to know that life goes on when you're not there. I've ranted long enough. Yeah, so I'll try to keep these videos short in the future, of course. But I thought pouring out all my thoughts, what does Muffy really think, is the best course for coming back after so long. Yeah, do my PI, do some ice mining, and then we'll see what happens. So, see you next time.